Everyone is dogging the end of this film. Is it warranted? Let's find out. Chase Lehocky here at the Blue Futon reviewing Netflix's new film, Leave the World Behind. What's it about? Pretty simple premise. I want to say post-apocalyptic. It is a pre-esque post-apocalyptic thing happening in the world in New York where, is it a cyber attack? Are there hijackings happening? Why is shit happening? And who is doing it to the American population? All right. So, like this film, there is signs of pure genius in this movie. There truly is. There is some dialogue in this film that people need to understand. There are scenarios in this film that people need to understand. However, it's a 2-hour and 22-minute movie, way too long, and it's produced by Michelle and Barack Obama. Okay, ha 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 on that level. Yes, they might be executive producers, which, okay, fine, whatever. I mean, I do think, how you talk politics into this movie of how people that were presidents in the White House are now moving to Hollywood, but people dog someone that started in Hollywood, if I'm putting in Trump and now being president. So, double standards? Anyone? Double standards? Anyway, that's not about producing, because really a producer, all they do is give money to the product and give a little bit of things, but executive producers really don't do jack shit. They give money and they have some say, but they don't have as much as probably Julia Roberts because she was a producer. Anyway, let's go into the film itself. Like I said, there were some scenes of pure freaking genius in this movie. There's a Tesla scene. Fantastic. There's some Ethan Hawke dialogue scenes that are fantastic. Some Kevin Bacon dialogue scenes that are fantastic. There are episodic things in this movie about get out of the city. Get out of the fucking city. Maybe you do need to be on the outskirts, own a gun, be a little bit prepared for shit happening because who knows what is going to occur. And I do think it's funny, like I said, this is produced by the Obamas, and the message of this film is like the government fucking the population over. So, Obamas, were you trying to fuck the people over as well while you're in the White House? Like, it makes you wonder, like, But like I said, acting, Mahershala Ali, Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, Kevin Bacon, perfectly fine. It was the 3 kid characters. Could have done better. Mahershala Ali's daughter, I wasn't liking her character. I did not like Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke's daughter either. The son wasn't too bad, but the kid characters were kind of annoying overall, in my opinion. But then, like I said, the dialogue. There's a scene with Ethan Hawke and Kevin Bacon that Ethan Hawke's basically like, I'm a worthless man because I need a GPS and I don't know how to do anything. And you're just like, that is almost a perfect analogy of where we're at today. And South Park just did it with the Pandaverse of people just need to call someone to fix something. If something is fucked up in my house, I'm going to try to fix it first. My car, I'm going to try to figure out why the check engine light is on. Like, my house didn't have ceiling fans when I bought it, brand new. So I installed 4 ceiling fans. You figure out how to do stuff yourself because I realized to install all 4 ceiling fans would have cost me like $600. And I'm like, I ain't doing that. Also installing blinds. If you've never owned a house before, holy shit, I'm just like, let me just get a quote for blinds. $1,300 for like 10 windows. So I said, nah, fam, I'm going to go to Home Depot, buy $250 worth of that, and install it myself. Yes, could there be a little bit crookedness? Sure, but you know what? No one's going to notice because screws are covered. Fucking covered. So that's what I'm saying. This is where some just ingenious freaking dialogue that people need to hear. Also, just like the whole Kevin Bacon scene, I enjoyed it. There's some good Mahershala Ali scenes, like one's planes coming out of the sky. Pretty daunting. There's a good one with an oil tanker. Pretty daunting. Stuff like that in this show is pretty sweet. But then there's also stuff in this show where you're just like, what are we trying to do here? Especially with the deer scene. I don't know the metaphor for the deers. I understand what they're saying, that the animals know something different. But there's a scene where Julia Roberts is trying to find her daughter. And he's like, hundreds of deers are just surrounding them. And I'm like, what are we trying to do? What's the whole point of that? Also, something happens at the very end with the landscape scene. And it makes you wonder, okay, who's dropping the bombs? If the whole point of this story is people fighting within about, left versus right of like misinformation, everything like that. And because of that, we're just going to attack each other within, and you don't need really government outside help doing it. Who's dropping the bomb? So why would the government want to start a war? Like, because if it is, fake pamphlets with China, fake pamphlets with, Arabic language, it makes you wonder what's the overall goal? And that's the thing with the issue with this, like the evil cabal. It brings that in this movie as well. Of who are these evil cabal people and what are they trying to achieve? And you just don't get that. You just get like people just want to just hurt each other, if you want to put it that way. And like I said before, the Tesla scene. This proves, I've been telling people, even though I disagree with James Cameron with a lot of stuff, probably politically, he's freaking right about Terminators. There's a scene in here with self-driving cars with Teslas. Freaking on the nose. Yes, maybe it was a Fast 7 did it first with, the Jeeps going through it. Same thing here. I will never, ever buy a car that has a self-driving. Never. I will not do it. Because you know what? I could drive a car. I don't need a computer to tell me to brake when a car is swerving to my lane on the right-hand side because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And they probably don't have insurance. So if my car's trying to tell me to stop, and if I really do stop, they're going to run into me, and they have insurance, so I got to pay because they don't have insurance. Stupid shit like that. I'm pretty sure I could do it myself. Okay, now the ending. I could see how some people hated the ending. Sure. But it really didn't bother me. It was more bothering that this girl, like, I don't like the girl character. That was the main thing. Like, she's just a brat. It just felt like she was a dick. Like, it's like kids like these nowadays is like, they think they know it all, and they truly fucking don't. I know there's some metaphor with friends in here and whatever, but I just think the ending is simplistic. People think that, oh, there's a comic book message to it. No, there isn't. It pretty much spells it out with the dialogue between Mahershala, Ethan Hawke's character, between Julia Roberts' character, Mahershala's daughter, as well as this other character with Kevin Bacon. Like I said, even though some dialogue I love, some dialogue I hated. And I hate when it's race-based dialogue. What I mean by that, there's a scene where this girl's like, you're never supposed to trust white people in situations like this. Okay, way to put people in a box. So you're going to tell me if a white guy said that, saying like, if I was laying in bed and the apocalypse is going on, I said, you shouldn't trust Mexican. You shouldn't touch black people. Like, you're going to get fucking hammered. And that's why I get frustrated with that. Because with this, and it puts people in a box. And what I mean by that is, this assumes all black people trust all other black people. All white people trust all other white people. All Chinese people trust all other Chinese people. All Mexicans trust all other Mexicans. That's not fucking true. That's why it's just so frustrating. I hate the race baiting bullshit. And that's the same thing in this movie where it's like, you had to put it in there. It's like, because Mom would totally agree with it too, which means it's a biracial family. Sure. But, so you're telling me how I'm just looking at it in situations like this, in Chicago, LA, the Nike store's getting ran, the Gucci store's getting ran over. It's just more of like, and what was that one in Philadelphia where that girl is now suing because she live streamed fucking robbing a place and she's like, it's a race thing. You live streamed stealing shit. Take fucking, and so shit like that. So you're like, oh, you're gonna, that's why when it comes to race stuff, it really bothers me where people just put people in a box where it's like, all black people believe the same thing. All white people believe the same thing. All, Sudanians believe the same thing. All Italians believe the same thing. All, Bangladeshians believe the same thing. They do not. So please, stop putting people in a box. It's fucking frustrating. Anyway, Leave the World Behind. It's way too long. Way too fucking long. A stupid dance sequence that I felt like Julia Roberts wanted to put it in there for no reason. To me, it's a fine movie. It's worth, I think, the watch. I truly do, because there are some ingenious moments, but then there are just some infuriating moments as well. So Leave the World Behind will receive a 3 out of 5 with Futons, which equals that 60%. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. Critics, 74%, 98 of them. Audience score, 44% with 500 plus. Critic consensus. An exceptionally well-acted apocalypse thriller, Leave the World Behind steadily draws the viewers in despite its leisurely pace and somewhat simplistic messaging. Yeah, don't expect to be like, oh my god, this is a brain melter. You know exactly what's happening. 60, 44, 74. Chase Hawke here with Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One of the things, Futontopia. You both want to think about a great day now. Can watch this today, tomorrow, week from now, month from now, year from now. Every single freaking one of you. Did you hate the ending? I'll be there for you. I won't lie. I think Friends is a pretty alright show.